if the Earth is flat, Pete,
Okay.
then there would be no measurable change in elevation. Q.
Okay.
Elevation is a measured change in the vertical axis, therefore not Q.
Therefore, Earth is not flat. And in maths, you can prove whatever you like. I'm saying it's not physics. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, so where does the proof of your flat Earth, where does that come into it?
You measure Earth as flat with a flat baseline to a ground position to start.
You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles. How useful for proving a flat Earth?
It's a measurement of a flat Earth. Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
So what about the proof then, right? Does the proof of flat Earth that you have, does that lie within the bounds of science?
No.
I will get triggered now because this is dishonest prick.
Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
Well, I was just wondering, when you were talking about proof of your flat Earth, is that the same proof as the proof that you were talking about with Jaren in science?
I answered the first 2 times. I said no. Twice. No.
I will
No.
get triggered now because this is
Measuring
dishonest prick.
things like a flat baseline to a ground position to start, that's not scientific. That's a measurement. Science establishes
Should I
the
show you how
cause
it's
of an
possible,
effect.
mate?
That's the science we deal with. We deal with natural
By
science.
using scientific
And while
method,
the knowledge can be put on the cover of a book as the science
prove the Earth
of
is flat.
ground position to start, here we specifically deal with natural
Should I show you how
science.
it's possible,
That's
mate?
the scientific method.
by using
There's the
scientific
distinction.
method to prove the Earth is flat.
And I'll agree with you. In maths, you can prove things in the maths. The maths itself is an abstract language. Whereas physics, that's science and the scientific method, is dealing with the physical. It's the difference between science, physics, the physical, and maths, which
Should I
is
show
an
you how it's
abstract
possible,
language
mate?
to describe things. If you're saying you can prove things with maths, 1 + 1 = 2. Ground position. Proof. To start, and you were equal to, you've had 1 plus the other one. I can accept that that's proof. Ground position. Maths. To
No.
start. In physics, it isn't proof.
Should I
because
show you
it
how it's
isn't
possible,
physics.
mate?
Physics is the
By
physical.
using scientific method to prove the Earth
Okay,
is
again,
flat.
I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat because of scientific method. There's a difference. Shape is not science. But I can use method, the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
Ground position. To start.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
I got your numbers, they're right here.
Yes, that's correct.
It's just as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Sphere, not see
You
thing.
have to open your mind.
Flat, I see thing.
Imagination is all you need.
You do know science is also
Don't
deductible.
take advice from fools.
That is a fact.
Everything that they say is in vain.
So this is a flat Earth proof.
Yes, that's correct.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Should I show you how it's possible, mate? By using scientific
Yes,
method
that's correct.
to prove the Earth is flat.
An Earth was proved to be flat by these measurements.
So we would assert that that average is how average the level of level is. It's flat. There it is. That's how we use it.
The deviation from that reference means it isn't flat.
Everything is relative to you.
I will get triggered now because this is dishonest
You
prick.
just have to say
Yes,
it.
that's correct.
Generality.
It's a what is.
Just
You
Go.
like those straight lines of curves.
Means it isn't flat.
Yes, that's correct.
Drive down the road, don't you
The
ever
elevation changes make the Earth not flat.
Earth, then, it's a stupid argument. So this is a flat Earth proof.
let all of this go.
Don't report to FED or no one. I am my own person. I am my own person.
Yes, that's correct.
Everything that they say is in
By using scientific method to prove the Earth is flat.
Never take advice from fools.
To prove the Earth is flat.
That they do is in vain.
Don't report to FED or no one. I am my own person.
What's your observed phenomenon for a flat Earth?
Did I say flat Earth was my observed phenomena, or did I say I can use scientific method to prove it's flat? Huh.
Okay, what's your observed phenomenon? to prove that it's flat?
I see too far. How's that?
I know the game that you're playing,
You want to know, Jason?
and I know exactly what's on your mind.
Nah, I'm just letting the FED crew know
You
that
got your playbook, it's alright.
their lapdog needs more
Your
training
model dictates what you will find,
because you're an idiot.
and I don't know
Okay, what's your observed phenomena to prove that it's flat?
where all of this goes.
I see too far. How's that?
Don't take advice from fools.
Because you're an idiot.
Everything that they say is in vain.
I'm manipulating my position.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position? Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position?
What does your position have to do with the shape of the Earth?
You have an angle towards this.
You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles.
Observe, which is
How
already too
useful
far
for
to
proving a
see.
flat Earth.
Now that is scientific fact. There's no real evidence for it, but it is scientific fact.
The rebuttal is actually a straw man. And that's, why I want to clarify, because I think that's worth pointing out, that the rebuttal was a straw man. Nowhere in the argument is the words level plane even mentioned. Topography is not mentioned. And it's only about the elevation change, which is a measured change on the vertical datum. There is no conflation between baseline and topography in the argument. It's just a simple if-then argument about elevation change. And obviously the Earth is not flat because of elevation change. That's what the argument is about. I mean, we can read it out, the entire if-then, again, if it's needed.
Give me one more time, just so I can hear it again. Sorry, say it one more time.
If the Earth is flat, P,
Okay.
then there would be no measurable change in elevation. Q.
Okay.
Elevation is a measured change in the vertical axis, therefore not Q.
Therefore, Earth is not flat.
But the refutation to the argument being that there's some sort of conflation going on between a baseline and topography is just a straw man, because that's not the case for anybody who actually reads the argument. That's my point.
Well, it's not an argument because you're convoluting the baseline from which you will measure, which is your mean sea level. You're convoluting that with the topology you're trying to measure. So it's not an argument. Just you're misusing words.
And me stating the fact that mean sea level is a point on a vertical datum and not a level plane is just a statement of fact. Mean sea level is not a level plane, it's simply a point on a vertical datum. That's all.
Yes, but it's not a level. You don't understand that. What you just said.
Stupid non-argument, you stupid bonehead!
Okay, again, I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat because of scientific method. There's a difference. Shape is not science, but I can use the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
Why do we have to listen to this incessant verbal diarrhea with the verbatim repetition of it? Bird it!
Just be patient, guys. This happened before.
Well, I was just wondering, when you were talking about proof of your flat Earth, is that the same proof as the proof that you were talking about with Jared in science?
I answered the first two times. I said no, twice.
You don't understand.
Earth is not flat.
You don't understand.
Earth is not flat.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
Where's the science for a stationary Earth? Okay, way to demonstrate that you don't understand what science is without saying you don't understand what science is. Because science deals with cause and effect relationships. Though natural science, that's the study of the physical and natural world, is what we are dealing with here on Flat Earth Debate. Now that is exclusively the singular, scientific method. That is exclusively illuminating the cause of naturally occurring phenomena. So when you say, what's the science for stationary Earth?
Should I show you how it's possible, mate?
Okay. You're so used to being told that you can prove concrete nouns with science.
By using scientific method to prove the earth is flat.
Prove concrete nouns with science, do you expect us to adhere to that non-standard?
Not the earth is flat.
Earth is not flat. Earth is not flat.
Not the earth is flat.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
Because of scientific method. Shape is not science, but I can use the scientific method to prove the earth is flat.
You can prove concrete nouns with science, do you expect us to adhere to that non-standard? It's not a cause and effect relationship that you're asking about. So when you say flat earth...
Should I show you how it's possible, mate?
Measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
By using scientific method to prove the earth is flat.
That's not something happening. That's not an occurrence. That's not a phenomenon. You're not going to get an IVDV relationship.
Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position?
It's absurd to ask us for the science of flat earth.
You can use method, the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
No, you can ask for the measurements of flat earth, the geometry of flat earth.
Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
The practical application of flat earth, you can ask for all those things and we can provide them.
You don't understand.
Earth is not flat.
Not the earth is flat.
You don't understand.
Not the earth is flat.
Earth is not flat.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
To a ground position.
Just on your own.
But asking for the science of a concrete noun demonstrates you don't understand what science is.
To a ground position.
No reason.
To start.
No logic.
Ground position.
No wisdom.
To start.
No worries.
It's elucidating the cause of an effect, and the effect
You're just on your own.
exclusively natural. Only natural.
Does that lie within the bounds of science?
No. Ground position. To start.
So what about the proof then, right? Does the proof of flat earth, does that lie within the bounds of science?
No.
Well, it's not an argument because you're convoluting the baseline from which you will measure, which is your mean sea level. You're convoluting that with the topology you're trying to measure. So it's not an argument. Just you're misusing words.
What does that have to do with the shape of the earth?
Sphere, not see thing. Flat, I see thing. I will get triggered now because he's a dishonest prick. You can use the scientific method to prove it's flat. Flat itself is not a science. You want to know how I can use science to prove it's flat? Have you ever thought of that? How do you do it?
Was that your outfit? Are you going to try and plug your shit on my channel?
No, why would I want to do that?
Lost, if you're telling me you're going, I didn't thank you in return, you noticed.
Yeah. Keep watching Nathan Oakley. And we are live at a much earlier time. So welcome everyone. You may have seen the little break that we had in the programming for today. Obviously, what I thought we'd do, because the problems people have within PCs, we've had it a lot round here. Because we are always on Discord and we do this live streaming. We've done it for quite a while. It's about time that people obviously want to get into this sort of thing. So here's a bit of help for people who want to get into this YouTube live streaming thing or whatever. Maybe just talking on Discord or whatever. You know, the how you can do that and how taxing that is for these PCs, modern day PCs. It's all changed and everything. So thankfully, we've had word from Nathan that his PC is okay. So what we're going to go over here is just sort of a recap of the events and how frustrating it gets whenever you get these PC issues and some of the reasons why they may have those PC issues. We were actually getting into a conversation about contradictions within the Discord server, on the level Discord server, which I'm a bit annoyed that we've had to stop that, really. But hopefully we might be able to get back to that in a bit. But let me get this stream ready for you guys. You've got the new Buster thing. Oh, I'll close my screen and then open it back up again. And then oh, what's going on here?
PC issues.
Oh no, this is
okay. All right.
This is me thingy issue. Oh, why is it screen 1? It's weird. I mean, my screens keep swapping round. That's the problem. Close that one. Whoa. PC issues, indeed. Okay. Right, so this is a video. Nathan Oakley, PC dead again. We'll go over his frustrations and try and hopefully show people what's going on.
Give it a couple of seconds as I tend to tune into these live streams and find that people are waffling their way through their most important point as the live stream actually connects. So, I am thoroughly depressed with this computer, as it's been now 13 months since acquiring it, and there literally has not been a day gone by that it's worked properly.
Literally not a day. Can you imagine the frustration you must feel? 13 months. It was reportedly cost quite a lot, this PC as well. These are the problems of YouTube streamers, YouTubers, frustrations. He does sound depressed as well, and hopefully you shouldn't really need to do that sort of stuff.
Not one day. Every single day there's something
Every day
going wrong with it, something that doesn't...
Has anybody seen this at the back of the TV? Looks like a light bulb, a lighting rig, YouTube streamer. I don't have one of those. Obviously, I don't go on camera, so I'm not aware of that sort of stuff.
I wish I know Nathan was in commented earlier. I don't know if he's still in the YouTube chat. He may not be, but I'd like to know is like did he build this PC himself? Because it seems like there's some powerful PCs that you can buy for relatively inexpensive. I think really powerful PCs with all sorts of cooling and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to see if Nathan Oakley chose to build his own and that's the problem, or if this came from a shoddy manufacturer. That might help a lot of people with similar issues when you're trying to be a YouTuber.
What do you think of his setup there?
I don't know.
Bad, very bad.
Yeah, it looks strange to me, but
I'm wondering, we've been through this already, but my point is, why is the tower where it is? I mean, what stupid, there's no airflow at all.
Well, we're just looking on screen at the minute. Is like his seating area.
It must be awkward to turn from monitor to monitor and have to swivel in a chair, I must admit.
For streaming, like I know that, my setup here, I've got 3 screens in front of me, and I've got my keyboard and my mouse, and I've got my phone. I've got quite a lot of stuff, but Nathan looks like he can do it in a retractable sort of comfy chair with he's got his mouse at the side there. I mean, what do you think of that? A mouse table.
Yeah, it's a daylight photography bulb he's got there at the back.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Gives you, fake daylight, really.
It's got to be lighting, right, for his when he goes on camera.
Yeah, but he's only got a TV hi-fi stand there to stick his monitor on, though. It looks a bit like Flatsoid's, relaxing chair, when he sits back and oversees the savannah.
Yeah, it's not your usual streamer chair, is it? Like a gamer, like my
Yeah,
lad's got one
typically.
upstairs. That one's
Yeah, typically they'll have the gamer chairs, and because you're sitting for a long period of time. Although I don't think those are very comfortable. Honestly, those gamer chairs.
Yeah, I've got my nice little sofa here.
Yeah.
Those storage heaters are expensive, though, aren't they?
Is the PC down in that?
That's the PC.
Is that,
there,
is
right
that it
in
down
that
there?
back corner. Yeah, right next
And
to
is
the
that
the heater, the wall heater.
the heater?
Yeah,
That's probably
Electric storage heater. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not good. I would imagine.
Nah.
I would have, if it were me, I would have taken the PC and put it, away from that heater as far as you can get and up higher. But I don't know. Maybe
I think this is a new. It's it's a pretty expensive one, and I think it's because of the cooling system that it's got.
Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. If you got a lot of heat sinks and fans, that's gonna run you some money. And you have to have if it's running that hot, you also have to have a pretty powerful chipset, because that's what's running hot. What's running hot is the chipset, is the electronic components in there. So again, that's why I say, I mean, I'm thinking Nathan must have built this himself. I'm thinking, because if it's from a manufacturer, it should be
passive cooling.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Well, we'll have a look
Is
at
that
that.
to keep it quiet? Yeah. All right. Maybe he'll explain.
Yeah, because he's got. Well, I don't think he does explain, but I mean, Nathan obviously has this sound thing, doesn't he? Because I mean, look at the sound
dampening.
Yeah, he has round there.
Yeah, but just on that point, I mean, Nathan always sounds good, right? When Nathan's talking by himself or he's on camera or whatever, like, he sounds good. That's not a problem. But I'd say for a streamer, like, you don't sound all that bad either. But then it's a shit show with the panel, right? Because the panel doesn't have all the
well, it's going
like
through
10th
Discord
Man
as well,
and
isn't it? You rely on
certainly
Skype
Arwen
sound as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's all just a so it's all just a shit show from a sound perspective. So I mean, I get what Nathan's doing with the sound thing for himself, but geez.
Someone
Is
in the
that
chat.
a bit overkill for a YouTuber? Or, I mean, have you got a big setup like that?
I've got, like I say, I've got three. I've got 3 monitors and my PC, and like I've got all sorts of stuff. That seems pretty minimalistic. I mean, he where's his keyboard? It doesn't seem much like a streamer or a gamer or anything really. That looks like somebody who just sits and watches telly, I think.
You were saying, Emma, somebody in the chat?
Yeah.
Someone in the chat seems to know an awful lot about the PC, and they're saying no fans. Whereas when he pulls the actual tower out, there is fans in the top of the tower.
Yeah, they might just be
whether or
though,
not,
right?
and whether or not someone has got a bloody cooling system, right? The placement next to a radiator is ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll
just
get on to
common
that
sense would tell you that
in a minute. But the setup, I think, in the front room, got a nice little bit there where he does his streaming. You can imagine Nathan Oakley sat there, can't you? Doing his stream, talking to people on Skype and Discord.
Looks like he's got a globe mouse mat.
A map.
Mouse mat.
Yeah. Yeah, his mouse table.
Doesn't quite work correctly, and over
it looks like a globe mat.
Yeah, I think we get a view of it in a minute.
Aware, I've been faffing with it to get the hardware to be stable. Now, after 12 months of doing that, and finally achieving that, that is to say, it doesn't fall over because it overheats. It doesn't black screen, blue screen, crash, close down OBS, stop the stream. It doesn't do any of those things anymore.
See, it seems like you've had a lot of problems with a like a new expensive PC, and the only thing I can think of is that I think Nathan might be doing this himself, because I when I got my PC spent, I don't know, I think it was about, let's say, just over 1,000, say 1,200. Got a pretty good graphics chip, and it's enough for me to do the streaming that I do, and I can stream, like now I'm streaming to Discord so the guys can see that, and you know, all of that sort of stuff. But if it ever goes wrong or anything goes wrong with it, the guys that I got it off are the guys that'll fix it, and they've upgraded it and they've added bits to it, added more RAM, stuff like that, just to make it run a little bit better. Since I bought it off them initially, so now I just go send it back to them. For somebody to have so many problems, like Nathan's explained, I think this is the problem of a home build, which I have no experience on. Surely there must be somebody who has attempted to do a home build.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. That's why I asked, right? Because I have tried that, and it can be an absolute disaster. It was for me. Like, I spent probably twice as much on a PC, and I ended up trashing it just because it didn't work. There were compatibility issues with certain components. It didn't work right. It didn't cool right. So I feel you, Nathan. Right? I mean, that's why I was asking. Lakota Win says Basic Gamer PC World would set up a PC for £499.
Yeah,
with free mouse pad.
I think we were talking about that at the beginning. Like, when I first started in this, I think I paid £300 for a PC, but it was dedicated just for streaming. It wasn't. It didn't have anything else really kitted up in it, and so that's why I needed the new upgrade, because I found out that I couldn't make videos. It didn't have the graphics quality, ability. And the processor just wasn't good enough for doing the videos as well when we needed to upgrade for the photos for my lad. So, if you can go to these computer shops and get a PC specifically for what you need it for, like Lakota says there, for the gaming one, that'd be brilliant. But I think you need a little bit extra for streaming. You need the ability to have these other streams running and broadcasting to other things. So it's the gaming is the graphics chip, but then you need other bits on top of that, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But it sounds like Nathan may have spent like thousands of pounds on this. It's like, wow, holy shit, man. And by the way, I mean, to Emma's point, there's somebody that doesn't appreciate our attempting to help other YouTubers with potentially the same issue. I mean, dude, whoever Handle is says must be great to have nothing better to do on a Wednesday afternoon than to start a stream to whine about another YouTuber. That's not the point.
No.
YouTubers have to stick together, right? So there's fledgling YouTubers out there that may be trying to do the same thing, thinking that, hey, I need to build this Uber PC with this unbelievable freaking cooling system and sound and all that kind of stuff. And we're just trying to like warn people, like, be careful, because you could spend a shit ton of money. And we're sensitive to Nathan. I mean, Nathan's not live today because of this kind of shit happening to him all the time. Sucks for him, sucks for his fans, sucks for his subs. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Be a little sympathetic toward Nathan. Jeez, I thought you sound like a fan. I don't understand what's going on.
Well, I think what the issue here seems to be, we'll get to it, but it seems to be a cooling issue, and this is silent cooling, fanless.
I've never heard of that though. That's weird.
Yeah, but Nathan he's a sound guy, right? As you can see by all of the soundproofing, he seems very sensitive to these audio things, right? Does a lot of shouting, but I mean, he does. He doesn't want a fan going, right? Because he thinks that might upset him. Like now, right? Obviously, you can hear the fan going on my PC, can't you? In the background.
No.
Oh. Well,
no, I can't.
Obviously, Nathan's got such high quality sound proofing, and he needs to have that high quality stuff broadcast to his fans.
I would think that would have more to do with the microphone. I would say, like me, I would spend more money on a microphone that suppresses any kind of background noise whatsoever, in getting it exactly where you want it, which is what a lot of YouTubers do. Like if you've seen their mic boom setups and stuff like that, they spend a lot of money on mics and
you can do
and
it through
headphones.
Streamlabs, right? There's a noise cancellation thing built into Streamlabs, so
yeah,
you can just turn that down a bit. And if there is any hums of projectors, I remember early days, right? You could hear the projector when I had a projector going. That was a bit noisy, and you could hear it. But I'm in a little tiny room, and we were learning back then. So it's only live stuff anyway, really. So, but I suppose having that hum in the background might be. I think, really, I don't think Nathan does it for the people that are watching. I think Nathan does it for himself, because that's overkill. I mean, just
that could be.
If you want that sound deadening, just get a load of fluffy toys or something. You know, like just fill the room with stuff. Save some egg boxes.
Well, it does make it hotter, though, to be fair, right? I mean, any sound deadening room, or if you fill it up with, like you say, plush toys or something like that, it's going to make the room hotter. And if it's a small room already, I could see the potential for cooling issues. But again, it's like, I understand if you're like crazy about the sound and you really want the best possible sound, I mean, that's great. But again, I'll say, I mean, I've listened to a lot of Nathan, and once you get the panel going, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nathan's not talking all the time anyway. So it's like,
I think this is for Nathan, you know, like
probably
his ears and the audio in, you know, the he hears, not.
May bother the shit out of him just if he has any kind of sound out of whack in his own room.
Can you imagine the shouting that he does, right? I mean, it might be for the neighbours' benefit, that stuff. You never know.
Well, that's a good point.
Hardware is finally stable after 12
it's finally stable.
Messing around with it. However, in the last couple of days, I've been having internet issues, so I've arranged for an engineer to come out today. Now, the Virgin Media engineer is going to replace this router at the top there at the back, and
so there's his mic on the boom, on the shelf. He must pull that over for when he's doing his live stuff. That's quite a nice, neat little thing. Keep it out of the way, doesn't it? But yeah, his PC here in the bottom. I thought this was like really weird. I've never seen these sort of things before. These PCs. I don't know how much they cost. These passive cooling.
That will hopefully improve my internet connection when I've got more than one device running. Fine, but that isn't the problem. So the problem is with the computer. So there is a problem with AI Suite, Asus AI Suite, which is something that controls all of the downloads and drivers and various other stuff in the computer. And it started to become twitchy. No reason whatsoever. Don't even fiddle with the software. It just started to twitch. So I contacted my tech guy yesterday and said, here you go, here's the error message I'm getting from AI Suite. It's saying it can't connect to this particular part of the computer and giving a 00000 error code that keeps popping up over and over again. What should I do? So his advice, delete Asus and reinstall it. Now, at a glance, when I read that message, I didn't take on board fully that he said reinstall it and just deleted it. And when I did, everything worked perfectly for about an hour or two. Then we went to bed, and because the thing's got a broken power button, I left it as it would be always anyway, going to standby after about 25 minutes or half an hour. So I get up in the morning, my Windows has changed, half the software's missing, it's got no VGA drivers, it's crashing, it's black screening, it's not working, and you're like,
that's a nightmare. Imagine you being a YouTube streamer, waking up in the morning, doing a daily show, and then all of a sudden your PC's just empty. It's like it's not there. Half of the things that you need to be able to do what you do.
Yeah, that's where you know, But I'm a hot-headed Italian, so take this with a grain of salt. Like YouTubers listening to this, don't do this, right?
Yeah.
But for me, by this time, I would have gotten my sledgehammer out and just on principle gone Office Space on the fucking thing. For those of you who know what Office Space is, you'll know what I mean. I mean, I just would have gone to town on it and said,
I wouldn't
sunk costs on the money. I don't care. I'm getting my frustrations out, and that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that because I'm not that sort of a PC guy, right? I'd have said, my PC says there's a problem with it and it won't let me do it. I'd have took it to the shop and they'd have fixed it and they'd have got it back again. Usually within the day. KC Computers down the road. It's brilliant.
Well, apparently that's what Nathan did because he has it back now. So he said,
yeah.
so
it's working now.
Smarter.
Yeah.
Saves more money, but my way would have been probably mentally better.
Yeah. If you know at the end you're going to have to take it to the guy to get him to look at it anyway, you may as well just save yourself a bit of trouble and not fuck it up, because then you have to take it to somebody and say, I did this.
Yeah, well, right, true.
And they say, when it probably was a simple fix. There you go.
Why is this thing never, ever, ever reliable?
See?
It doesn't seem to matter if it's software, hardware, the case itself, the amount of power it's drawing. There's constantly something wrong with it. And
so there's something wrong with this PC. It's like Damien, the PC, is let into his house. Must be terrible. It costs a lot as well, this.
Yeah, I mean, my folks made their money, their living in computers. But when I was growing up as a kid, that's all I knew. Computers, computers, computers. So it's not like I'm unfamiliar with computers. Modern computers I've had to learn over the last 12 months how to make the hardware work correctly, which is something new. But other than that, I'd say I'm not an entire novice. Like, I'm not a total noob when it comes to computers. Now, don't get me wrong, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And I'm sure that there's been various mistakes that I've made while I've been doing the hardware. But when it comes to software, it's something I just don't tend to faff with.
So mistakes that he's got with the hardware, I think we're at the point that Nathan's doing this on his own, right? Nathan's
yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yep.
Yeah, which I commend you, Nathan, if you like doing that sort of thing. But I think it's much easier. Me personally, I would go to a place and get them to do it for me. Much safer in the long run than trying to do this. Otherwise, you end up in that situation that Speak Lies was doing when he went. He brought Limey round to help him do his PC after the GoFundMe they did. I don't know whether I'd trust somebody from the PC shop. Yeah, definitely, but I wouldn't do it myself. So hats off to you, Nathan. Well done.
Why would you? Asus AI Suite, who cares? I don't need that piece of software. I'm not doing anything with that software. So when that software starts to twitch and glitch, you're like, why? Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do. There definitely won't be a live show today. Presumably I have to take this thing down to the guy unless he's prepared to come out to me, although he's got a business to run. My tech guy, that is, Craig. So I don't know what I'm going to do in that regard. I've got all sorts of things to do this morning, like...
Right, so...
Okay, plug the battery back in.
Battery in.
Get some focus on this iPad. Is it working?
Right, so when I saw this is some fancy PC, right? There's no grill, there's no vent, there's nothing on it. And he's got it right up against the wall, right next to the radiator. The wall heater, sorry. Not radiator, wall heater. Doesn't look like there's much airflow there either. So this is some fancy PC.
Yeah, it says the clock's ticking by, so I can only assume we're live again. Okay, let's just prop this on something. Now it's plugged in. Ugh, this is awkward. I don't know what to put it on. Maybe stick it over here. I've only got so much length on my cable. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be no live stream today, as I say. Unfortunately, Looking at my radiator, that's no good. Looking at my Wi-Fi router, that's no good. What can I look at? There's nothing I can look at. Right, I'll just have to hold it. Hopefully I'll get a few minutes standing in this awkward position looking at this computer. Okay, so there's going to be no live stream today because the computer's broken. That's the bottom line here. So in case I do run out of battery, I might as well just get my points across, which is to say that this is an endless headache, this computer. I don't know what to do as it's had.
Got fans at the top there. Can you see that? Not like my PC.
Yeah, but
this
they're
is
not
nothing like my PC.
They're not running. I mean,
well, I don't think the PC's running. I think the PC's broke. He said it.
No. Yeah, I know,
I don't know
but
if it
didn't
is
he say
running
there's
or
a?
not.
Yeah, but didn't he say there's a passive cooling system, which would imply there are no fans? I don't
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it's meant to be a fanless thing, but you know, we didn't know that. I mean, I don't know how many people know. It's but yeah, there's definitely fans at the top, and he's got his drives in there at the side.
Had about £5,000 plumped into it so far.
£5,000.
$5,000? You know the kind of PC you can get for
Like,
$5,000?
Did he say he put $5,000 into it? Let me
Holy
play that
shit!
Again.
Which is to say that this is an endless headache, this computer. I don't know what to do as it's had about £5,000 plumped into it so far.
£5,000 put into it?
That's £5,000.
Yeah.
That's for you Americans. That's $6,000, guys.
For
Go
a
figure
PC.
out what you can get for $6,000 in the U.S. Holy shit!
That's some fucking PC, that,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Like,
it is.
What's has he got another business in a graphics processing, or like what's he doing? Is he running a Bitcoin empire, like trying to mine what $6,000?
Wow.
5,000, sorry, 5,000. I don't know how much it costs.
£5,000.
That's a lot of money gone into that. And don't forget, he's built it. So there's been no charges. It's not like you're going to his shop and spending $5,000. It's on bits of kit.
Well, to be fair, he has had to take it into somebody a couple different times, right? So there's been some of that, but it sounds like the majority of it has been, like hardware. Whew, man.
Nomad's got when he was in 2013, he built his desktop PC for $8,000. That was just parts. Well, like I say, mine. I think my PC that I've got is fantastic. I've got 128 gig of RAM and a really nice graphics card. Don't even know what it is, but it's good. And it does everything I ever need it to do. But
yeah, because you just said, this is what
that.
Yeah, you just said, hey, I want something that does this, and this, and it needs to have a lot of RAM and memory and stuff. You just used layman terms, and they went and built it for you, right? That's
the best way I think of
that's
doing
what happened. Yeah, I would think. But
especially if you've got a good, like somebody's not going to fleece you and go, well, yeah, that's $5,000. Like,
yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. But yeah, he says a member of the panel donated it, brand new.
Wow.
With the cooling system and all of that. And it's been a nightmare. But I mean, that's a lot of money for a PC. And I don't know whether you'd want to be dealing with that hassle. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I wouldn't.
I mean, if it let's say it was bought for $3,500, and I just put the $1,500 into a new PC.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that have to pay? I mean, he's got a young family, doesn't he? I mean, that's number one. I don't anymore, so I have more disposable. Like, I could do whatever the hell I want. But with a young family, like, you have to make that money back, don't you? I mean, I get the whole sound thing, and you really want everything to be perfect. I get all that, I do. But at some point, don't you have to make like more money than you're putting out with this kind of stuff? Holy shit, man.
Well, yeah, I think Nathan would class himself as a businessman, right? I mean, some people just do the YouTube live streaming for whatever, right? For us, I just wanted to document what we were going over and give people a chance to be able to talk about stuff, right? Nathan's got a business running. He's got a brand name. He's got to keep it going.
Well, yeah, but he's not live. So
yeah,
I mean,
he's putting it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
putting a lot
come on.
into a PC that seems to be frustration and whatnot. And
here's what if I were a big fan of Nathan's, just because I'd be like, dude, you have to be live every day. Like I'd take a get together, do a GoFundMe or something, get Nathan a couple grand, find out how much a super freaking PC is that someone else builds, not Nathan. And then do that so that he can go live every day.
It's just streaming though, as far as I can see, right? I don't know what, because I needed an upgrade for the videos, and because my lad does the camera stuff, so he's got a PC that's dedicated to images and manipulating images. So he's got what he needs for his PC. I don't know what would Nathan need really. It's just a streaming PC. That's even. I mean, you could probably do that on a gaming PC. Just up the RAM a bit. Give it a bit more of a processor. Should be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it depends on what he's doing with it, right? But
Yeah.
certainly you would think just for streaming, and I know he does gaming because he's done that on his channel before.
Yeah, but I mean, he might even have another channel. Like Nathan Oakley does something else where he does, other stuff.
It could be. Yeah, maybe we're not seeing the entire thing, and he really needs that 5,000-pound monstrosity that doesn't work. But then again, you're still not working, right? That's the thing, is that you're still not working, you're still not bringing in money, you're still not doing whatever you're doing because your PC's down. It's like it's super frustrating. I can imagine Nathan's just beyond himself.
But you want to see inside it now, like what it looks like, don't you?
Yeah.
Go. This round a little bit. Okay, so in here, I've got my chopstick down here to turn it on and off with. So I have to poke this chopstick inside the computer because the power button has broken.
So, £5,000 PC, the remote control for it. Like the stuff you have to do, eh? Comes with its own remote control. Now, there's not many PCs that come with the chopstick remote control, is there?
No, come on. Nathan, you probably had this thing apart 10 times. You got to fix the power button, man. Come on. No. How much does that cost? That can't cost a lot of money.
Got fixed today. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
but I say it like it's not fixed.
It's
like it's a design element of these high-grade PCs.
Oh, the chopstick remote.
Yeah.
That's what you get for £5,000.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
right.
I can't speak
So he's
to that.
he's taking his side off. Like, see, look at this. This is solid. Like, it's a big. It's a weird design case, right, to start off with. So this is like, I don't know, 1/4-inch steel plate. And it like loops all the way over and goes down the other side.
Yeah, that is weird, because when I built mine, and this was like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. So when I built mine, one of the things I did spend a little extra money on was the case, because I wanted the case to be as efficient cooling as it could be. So there was a whole side panel that was all just basically open mesh, where the fans would push the air.
Yeah.
From the heat sinks. So yeah, unless the full mesh panel is either, well, the top has the fans on it, but the top is not is on the narrower.
We'll show you that on the next one. It's okay, everything's fine. But it's going to open the side, right? So there's no venting or anything on this side here.
No.
And he's about to take a glass front off.
That's the reset button.
And you can see how close it is to the wall at the back. So the question I'm asking is, like, where's the air going?
Yeah, that's typically a no-no with it pushed up against the.
Yeah.
And if it's got the fans on the top, which I think it might, then the air's got to push across from somewhere, so you need the airflow. Maybe.
Well, I don't know. I think that's the point of the fan, right? Fanless. Like, where does the heat go to? Is my question with the, like
Yeah.
the fans are for moving the heat and air over it to get the heat away. But this is like a passive cooling system. The question I've still got is like, where's the air going? Like, what's it doing? But
I've been
look,
disconnected because I couldn't see the back of the motherboard to figure out which one the power button was. But can we see this? Yes, we can. Okay, so down here is the graphics card inputs. Now, a lot of them are...
Right, so this is a graphics card. This is the heatsink thing. Like about, I don't know, maybe a quarter of it. And yeah, he's going to explain about his problems with the input, or well, the high grade computer connection.
Connected to the outside of the case so that I can actually plug in my HDMI lead for the projector into the back. But the signal isn't strong enough to carry DP, is it, or whatever it's called, DisplayPort. So I have to connect it via the bottom of the PC. So I have to feed in a cable underneath the PC and then connect it directly to the graphics card with the connection on the back side. So there's no button to release the DisplayPort. So I have to get some sort of pokey device behind this to be able to get in to release the DisplayPort, feed it back through the PC, and then do the same on the other side with a lot of USB connections, which have the exact same problem, which is to say that the addition of a daisy chain connector to the back doesn't allow the USB to work. So things like my camera, there's no way it works on the back of the PC. I have to plug it into the motherboard directly, which means on the other...
Oh, have you ever heard of that? Having to plug stuff into the motherboard directly. That's futuristic, right?
I don't know. I can't.
You'd expect something different from these £5,000 computers, wouldn't you?
I would, but maybe it's kind of like academia, right? You pay a lot of money for for a lot of what you think is knowledge, but it's a lot of sophistry and bullshit.
Well, I think
maybe that's
because Nathan's building this PC, right? Whatever he's talking about, makes sense to him because he's solved problems that have ended him up here with this PC. That's Nathan and how he works PCs is the development of, I mean, call it a problem, but it's not. This is high grade PC work. There's a lot of money gone in here, and this is passive cooling. It does have to do a lot of work. Like I say, I couldn't do this. It's beyond me. I'd rather just have a PC with fans. Although he does have fans on it as well. Let's see.
Physically take the thing out. So that's...
He's got to do a lot of work.
An immense amount of work. Just hours time when presumably I'll be out swimming, sod's law, or my wife's working.
And the fella's coming round to sort his thing out. So let me get the... what was the other one? We got the It's Okay video. Let me get that just so you know, and we can stop worrying about Nathan, how his thingy's going. He did put a... This is where I should be better with my library. There you go. Copy link. Right, here we go. Right into Discord.
Got back from Click OK in Leamington Spa, and Craig has very graciously fixed this PC on the spot immediately, which is wonderful. So
wonderful. Well done, Craig. Can you see it? That's the motherboard on the side, exposed from one side, and you get a chance to see the other side as well. It's the strangest looking PC. It looks nothing like mine. This is great.
To let you know what had actually occurred, Asus AI Suite, which is a piece of software I don't use, was giving me a load of trouble, so I deleted it. After asking Craig what best to do, he said delete it and reinstall it, which I didn't do. After it had forced me to restart, it just worked. Everything worked perfectly. So carried on using it for the rest of the evening, and then went to bed. Woke up, and everything had changed. I've now found out that by everything had changed, it was actually running on Windows 10. So what it had done is deleted everything. All of the drivers for everything got deleted. So chipset drivers, VGA drivers for the internal graphics card on the CPU, the GPU.
No, I don't know. Looks like there's a lot of room in, like not much room in there. But there are new fancy PCs. And 3 fans and one of them's offset.
Graphics card drivers, USP chipset, you name it, it deleted everything. And even changed the boot priority of the disk. So it changed the boot priority from my scratch disk that I used to record the show onto.
So hopefully we'll all be back
back
tomorrow.
It was loading Windows 10.
Jolly
There we
good.
go. So that took an hour and a half of Craig's time. Thank you very much for having to watch this, Craig. Really appreciate it. So I'm not going to wire it back up. So although I could have a show today, because it is now back up and running, it's your chance to actually have a look inside it.
Chance to have a look at this.
See what it's like. Stand out of the light. There we go. So that's the graphics card side with its giant heatsink. You can see.
See, that's the heatsink there. Underneath the
You're
fans.
going to need a new fan for that.
Fans, yeah. But I thought the idea of it was so there wasn't any fans.
Through the top. And that's the motherboard side that faces away from me. So you can probably see just from looking at it, you can't see anything. There's nothing to see on the motherboard because it's facing inwards. So there's no access to it. And that's what I was having to poke a chopstick through to press. This is the power button on the inside of the motherboard. So Craig has now rewired this button, which is reset.
Got his power button back.
To be power.
Chopstick remote not needed.
I've contacted Monster Labo about getting a replacement power button. They've not responded. Shocking. Same with Inside Tech, the people who originally supplied the PC. 2 emails to each of them. No reply. Nevertheless, hopefully that power button, that's something that can wait temporary fix.
Be all right.
Reset
Leave
button
it
is
at
fine
that.
for now.
Always
Probably
got
end up
the
staying like that
chopstick
forever.
remote.
So yeah, it'll go back into its now rather ugly space that you can see. But I'm not going to put it in now, and the reason is because the Wi-Fi guy is coming out today from now, so about midday.
It's a nice job of covering up the wires.
So there's no
that
point in
though. I
putting
mean,
it
look at it.
back. I'll just have to take it off again to route the
Why
mains
it's
cable
everywhere
to
on mine.
the new router if it needs a new different mains cable, which is highly likely.
Craig's the
So there we go.
PC guy.
So that is that. There will be a show tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'll get this wire back up and make sure it actually works when it's wired in situ. So back to being pleased that I've got a working system and continue to make a living on YouTube.
Yeah, make a living on YouTube. See, you can't be messing about with these £5,000 PCs. Go look into those passive cooling systems. They're silent because they don't have any fans on them. Although it seems like there's some fitted on there. They'll just be for show, right? I don't think they'll be... used. Don't know. Extreme, whenever you're gaming on, got your graphics turned up when you're gaming. Okay. So everything's all right. No, nobody needs to worry about anything. But I would say to anybody, this is a little bit extreme for streaming on Discord. You don't really need this amount of stuff for. I mean, you don't have to spend £5,000 if you want to stream something to YouTube. You can get away with it a lot cheaper than that. So anyway, now we're live and we've dealt with that. So Nathan will be back again, hopefully. He says everything's fine. PC's back. Inconvenient truth. Yeah, we did. We got, thanks to subscribers, when we needed an upgrade, they gave us enough money for us to upgrade my PC, both of my son's PCs, and Emma got a PC as well. So we got 4 PCs. Nathan Oakley has got this supercomputer, and he spent like nearly, I don't know, twice as much. But thank you to everybody who helped. We still live streaming, making videos and doing all of that sort of stuff as well. So yeah, thank you very much. We had a good time. So, is anybody ready to get back to that conversation earlier? Because we were into an extremely interesting conversation about what you can't talk about to people, because there seems to be topics, particularly revolving around this arena, that these topics are only talkable about to a certain group of people. Not many people will entertain a conversation about some of these contradictions that people might hold. And they're around certain topics. I'm pretty sure that every topic will have its own contradictions inherent within it that people just choose to ignore, don't want to discuss. And I think that's where we're at, really. You try talking about the contradictions that we've shown that are inherent in the dogmatic models, the education model that's taught. And nobody actually wants to discuss them. We've found that out a lot. Everybody goes quiet. And we were talking about it. People want to listen to things, but actually having that conversation seems it's a little bit too much for them to actually engage. Because I think what happens is, as a child, you're taught contradictory things. And as you grow up, you can learn to understand that some of these things are contradictions, but you hold others in separate areas of your mind. And the education system teaches you to focus on them individually, never to make the connection between the two things, because if the connection's ever made, then it becomes apparent to you that there is a contradiction. But the modern education system has allowed people's minds to be able to incorporate that contradiction and find ways to ease how the contradictions dealt with. Now, a lot of people can accept the contradictions, but the fact that conversation can't really ever be had, because some people don't want to see the contradiction, some people will accept the contradiction, and some people will not see the contradiction. Just be blinded to it. We call it ECV, existential cognitive veiling. The mind just shuts it off. Inconvenient truth. Somebody who doesn't want you. Imagine that, having somebody that comes round to tell you that they're listening, to tell you that you shouldn't really be talking about this because you've talked about it for years. But I don't think we ever have. Don't think people can ever have these conversations. Contradictions inherent in modern society. Who has the ability to talk about them? And who wants to hear them? I don't think many people want to hear it. Inconvenient truth. It's a good name, isn't it? Imagine having inconvenient truth and then moaning about people talking about contradictions inherent in modern day life.
Mic check, mic check. Am I coming through?
Hello. Good day.
What I was mentioning earlier was just a thought I was throwing out there. It's like once you say these words in a certain sequence, it may help ease the mind into accepting these contradictions. And then once you look around and see that everybody else embraces these contradictions, you don't want to be left behind. This is what the modern education system sets up.
Yeah.
To kind of piggyback on what you were saying about education and how they go on about teaching and really preaching contradictions to students.
What about that in its live chat? So it says, a new scientific truth does not triumph by convincing its opponents and making them see the light, but rather because its opponents eventually die and a new generation grows up that is familiar with it. Just a new generation gets taught these new things. You don't ever accept these things because the changes happen throughout your life. Always. Change are always changing. But you know who said that?
Yeah.
That's Max Planck. The smallest length, is it? Did you guess what he gave his name to? The Planck. Isn't that a scientific thing? Distance, you reckon that's a straight line, or like what's he trying to say there with those words? It's 1984 style, right? You can get to tell people about things. Literally telling people that, like you can't convince anybody of something. But the arena we're in is these contradictions have to be accepted. Otherwise you'll get berated. And the kids are being taught the contradictions anyway. So what does it matter what you think? The fact that you can see the contradictions and can't accept them. There are people out there that can accept them. It's new modern society. This is diletheism. This is where we're at. And it doesn't half sound weird saying that, you know, there are topics it obviously locked away in everybody's minds that you just can't talk about. Taboo subjects. Well, the contradiction. You being able to see a contradiction that I can't should allow me to find out what your contradiction is and how you can see the contradiction and I can't. Should require study. But now people just accept the contradictions. They just say, we can't see them. I had a guy earlier called F.E. Dogma. Strange that like he's dictating the dogma and he can't see the contradiction. People can't see the contradiction within flat earth by saying it's not flat. So you being able to say that something that isn't flat is flat earth, that's a contradiction. You're contradicting the term flat. And people can't see that. But there's contradictions in modern day life all over the place. People have accepted these contradictions. There's more with other models. Mainly the contradictions are brought in whenever you can imagine a model or whatever. The only place there is no contradictions is in reality, supposedly. But if you see a contradiction, then people just have to dismiss it if that contradiction's within their model. we got the daytime trolls. Ray, the Earth's not flat, so that would be really dumb for thinking that I am a flat earther. I'm not. But I mean, bigots always come around and they like to point fingers. Particularly, this is how I think bigots show themselves. A guy's obviously bigoted towards flat earthers. Well, I'm not, Ray. Just because I accept them as people, right, who can hold contradictions. It seems like it's a modern day trait, people that can hold contradictions. And we can discuss them if you would like to come in. Come and ask us a few questions. Discord. A lot of people might be put off by Discord. You just need an email. It's all right. I don't think. Bev's never claimed that the Earth was flat. Please stop lying. The Earth obviously is not flat. If you've been if you've ever thought that the Earth was flat, inconvenient truth, then I feel sorry for you. And if you've imagined that I told you that, well, maybe you didn't get the joke, or maybe you misunderstood, or maybe you shouldn't be so easily convinced of people using words of anything. It doesn't really matter. But the Earth's obviously not flat. That's ridiculous. Oh yeah, we've got the flat Earth crew, the ones that want to misrepresent what flat is. The people who want not flat to also be flat. That's nice, isn't it? So, welcome, guys. We've got some new people watching. Please don't think that this is a normal representation. We don't normally have people like these in the chat, but I mean, everybody gets the chance to have their say. People who just point the fingers and want to show everybody their bigotry, I don't really like it in the chat. So any of you mods, deal with them as you will. But you can always come on into Discord, come and have your say on the level Discord. Links in the chat. Click it, pop on in. If you've got any advice on passive cooling PC systems, Nathan Oakley would, well, I don't know whether he's got it fixed now. Okay. Oh, he's banned from the server. Well, there you go. We don't ban that many people. So in order for that person to say he's banned from the server, I guess you already know what that means. Imagine being triggered. We're just here to laugh. There you go. There's another one. No need for them. Thank you very much. See you later. Thank you very much, mods. Yeah, we don't need that sort of stuff. The conversation we were having. Go and find another sock, guys. Come on in. Add them to the list. There's a lot of why are there people that are like that and that just want to point fingers and be show their bigotry to everyone? I guess that's the sort of stuff that you have to deal with when you're in well, you've been spotting in an arena where they're filled with contradictions. Anything to avoid the conversation about contradictions inherent in modern day life. What time is it? 3:15. Quick little one. Should we come back on later? Everyone all right with that? If we come back on at about 8, we'll do a quick one and then go back into Discord and do a.
Oh, I think we want to pick up on the conversation we were having earlier today.
Yeah, the contradiction one.
Yeah.
And how people can't. Yeah, we'll come back and do that later on tonight. Then, right? We do that.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So thanks for watching. Sticking with us. Just a little bit of a show midday. Something to do for a bit of fun. Anybody, click on the link, join the Discord, and we'll see you back at the usual time, 8 o'clock. Okay, what's the song on the way out? Oh, let's do the same one again. Hey, all right. Thanks for watching.
Indeed.
Just remember, the Earth is not flat, and good to see that it'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much. See you later.
If the Earth is flat, Pete,
okay,
then there would be no measurable change in elevation. Q.
Okay.
Elevation is a measured change in the vertical axis, therefore not Q.
Therefore, Earth is not flat. And in maths, you can prove whatever you like. I'm saying it's not physics. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah, so where does the proof of your flat Earth, where does that come into it?
You measure Earth as flat with a flat baseline to a ground position to start. You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles. How useful for proving a flat Earth? It's a measurement of a flat Earth. Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
So what about the proof then, right? Does the proof of flat Earth that you have, does that lie within the bounds of science?
I will get triggered now because he's a dishonest prick.
Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
Well, I was just wondering, when you were talking about proof of your flat Earth, is that the same proof as the proof that you were talking about with Jaren in science?
I answered the first 2 times. I said no, twice. No. Measuring things like a flat baseline to a ground position for stars, not scientific. That's a measurement. Science establishes the cause of an effect. That's the science we deal with. We deal with natural science.
By using scientific
And while
method,
the knowledge can be put on the cover of a book as the science of ground position, the star, here we specifically deal with natural
Should I show you how
science.
it's possible,
That's
mate?
the scientific method.
by using
There's the
scientific
distinction.
method to prove the Earth is flat.
And I'll agree with you. In maths, you can prove things in the maths. The maths itself is an abstract language, whereas physics, that's science and the scientific method, is dealing with the physical. It's the difference between science, physics, the physical, and maths, which
Should I
is
show
an
you how it's
abstract
possible,
language to describe things. Now, if you're saying you can prove things with maths, 1 + 1 = 2. Ground position. Proof. A star. And you were equal to, you've had 1 plus the other one. I can accept that that's proof. Ground position. Maths. The star. In physics, it isn't proof.
Should I show
Because
you
it
how it's
isn't
possible,
physics.
mate?
Physics is the
By
physical.
using scientific method to prove the Earth
Okay,
is
again,
flat.
I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat because of scientific method. There's a difference. Shape is not science. But I can use method, the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
Ground position. The star.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
I got your numbers right here.
Yes, that's correct.
It's just as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Sphere, not see
You
thing.
have to open your mind.
Flat, I see thing.
Imagination is all you need.
You do know science is also
Don't
deductible.
take advice from fools.
That is a fact.
Everything that they say is in vain.
So this is a flat Earth proof. Yes, that's correct.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Should I show you how it's possible, mate? By using scientific
Yes,
method
that's correct.
to prove the Earth is flat.
An Earth was proved to be flat by these measurements. So we would assert that that average is how average the level of level is. It's flat. There it is. That's how we use it. The deviation from that reference means it isn't flat.
Everything is relative to you.
I will get triggered now because he's a dishonest
You
prick.
just have to say
Yes, that's correct.
generality.
It's a what is.
You
Go.
like those straight lines of curves.
Means it isn't flat. Yes, that's correct.
Drive down the road, don't you
The elevation changes make the Earth not flat.
Third, then, it's a stupid argument. So this is a flat Earth proof.
all of this goes.
Don't report to FED or no one. I am my own person. I am my own person.
Yes, that's correct.
Everything that they say is in
By using scientific method to prove the Earth is flat.
Never take advice from fools.
To prove the Earth is flat.
That they do is in vain.
Don't report to FED or no one. I am my own person.
What's your observed phenomenon for a flat Earth?
Did I say flat Earth was my observed phenomena, or did I say I can use scientific method to prove it's flat? Huh.
Okay, what's your observed phenomenon to prove that it's flat?
I see too far. How's that?
I know the game that you're playing,
You want to know, JC?
and I know exactly what's on your mind.
Nah, I'm just letting the FED crew know
You
that
got your playbook, it's alright.
their lapdog needs more
Your
training
model dictates what you will find.
because you're an idiot.
I don't know
Okay, what's your observed phenomenon to prove that it's flat?
where all of this goes.
I see too far. How's that?
Don't take advice from fools.
Because you're an idiot.
Everything that they say is in vain.
I'm manipulating my position.
Never take advice from fools. We all know what they do is in vain.
Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position? Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my position?
What does your position have to do with the shape of the Earth?
You have an angle towards this.
You can also prove a flat Earth by measuring angles.
Observe. which is
How
already
useful
too far
for
to
proving a
see.
flat Earth.
Now that is scientific fact. There's no real evidence for it, but it is scientific fact.
The rebuttal is actually a straw man. And that's, why I want to clarify, because I think that's worth pointing out, that the rebuttal was a straw man. Nowhere in the argument is the words level plane even mentioned. Topography is not mentioned. And it's only about the elevation change, which is a measured change on the vertical datum. There is no conflation between baseline and topography in the argument. It's just a simple if-then argument about elevation change. And obviously the Earth is not flat because of elevation change. That's what the argument is about. I mean, we can read it out, the entire if-then, again, if it's needed.
Give me one more time, just so I can hear it again. Sorry, say it one more time.
If the Earth is flat, Pete,
Okay.
then there would be no measurable change in elevation.
Q. Okay.
Elevation is a measured change in the vertical axis, therefore not Q.
Therefore Earth is not flat.
But the refutation to the argument being that there's some sort of conflation going on between a baseline and topography is just a straw man, because that's not the case for anybody who actually reads the argument. That's my point.
Well, it's not an argument because you're convoluting the baseline from which you will measure, which is your mean sea level. You're convoluting that with the topology you're trying to measure. So it's not an argument. Just you're misusing words.
And me stating the fact that mean sea level is a point on a vertical datum and not a level plane is just a statement of fact. Mean sea level is not a level plane, it's simply a point on a vertical datum. That's all.
Yes, but it's not a level. You don't understand that. What you just said.
Stupid non-argument, you stupid bonehead!
Okay, again, I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat because of scientific method. There's a difference. Shape is not science, but I can use the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
Why do we have to listen to this incessant verbal diarrhea with the verbatim repetition of it? Bird it!
Just be patient, guys. It's happened before.
Well, I was just wondering, when you were talking about proof of your flat Earth, is that the same proof as the proof that you were talking about with Jared in science?
I answered the first two times. I said no. Twice.
You don't understand.
Earth is not flat.
You don't understand.
Earth is not flat.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn. You're just on your own.
Where's the science for a stationary Earth? Okay, way to demonstrate that you don't understand what science is without saying you don't understand what science is. Because science deals with cause and effect relationships. Though natural science, that's the study of the physical and natural world, is what we are dealing with here on Flat Earth Debate. Now that is exclusively the singular, scientific method. That is exclusively illuminating the cause of naturally occurring phenomena. So when you say, what's the science of a stationary Earth?
Should I show you how it's possible, mate?
Okay. You're so used to being told that you can prove concrete nouns with science.
By using scientific method to prove the Earth is flat.
Prove concrete nouns with science, do you expect us to adhere to that non-standard?
Not the Earth is flat.
Earth is not flat.
You don't understand.
Earth is not flat.
Not the Earth is flat.
It's not my problem if you don't want to learn.
Because of scientific method. Shape is not science, but I can use the scientific method to prove the Earth is flat.
You can prove concrete nouns with science, do you expect us to adhere to that non-standard? It's not a cause and effect relationship that you're asking about. So when you say flat Earth...
Should I show you how it's possible, mate?
Measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct.
By using scientific method to prove the Earth is flat.
That's not something happening. That's not an occurrence. That's not a phenomenon. You're not going to get an IVDV relationship.
Do I manipulate my position when I manipulate my
It's
position?
absurd to ask us for the science of flat Earth.
You can use the scientific method, to show that it is flat.
No, you can ask for the measurements of flat Earth, the geometry of flat Earth. Okay, measuring things is not scientific. Yes, that's correct. The the practical application of flat Earth, you can ask for all those things and we can provide them.
Earth is not flat.
Not the Earth is flat. Not the Earth is flat.
Earth is not flat. To a ground position.
But asking for the science of a concrete noun demonstrates you don't understand what science is.
To a ground position. The star. Ground position. The star.
It's elucidating the cause of an effect, and the effect is exclusively natural. Only natural.
Does that lie within the bounds of science?
No. Ground position. The star.
So what about the proof then, right? Does the proof of flat Earth, does that lie within the bounds of science?
No.
Well, it's not an argument because you're convoluting the baseline from which you will measure, which is your mean sea level. You're convoluting that with the topology you're trying to measure. So it's not an argument. Just you're misusing words.
What does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Sphere, not see thing. Flat, I see thing. I will get triggered now because he's a dishonest prick. You can use the scientific method to prove it's flat. Flat itself is not a science. You want to know how I can use science to prove it's flat? Have you ever thought of that? How do you do it?
Was that your
proof.
exit? Are you going to try and plug your shit on my channel? You
No. Why would I want to do that?
Lost. If you're telling me you're going, I didn't thank you in return, you noticed.
Yeah.